So let's find out what the card is. I've already set my intention. I'm just going to take a moment to tune in to find out what the first of two, maybe it's the second of two, card is for us today. There we go. Now some of these cards look a little scary, but I have found that the meanings of these cards do not necessarily reflect what might be displayed in the picture, okay? That's the disclaimer. So here's the picture. It's hostilities. And he does not look like he has your best interests at heart, does he? But if you think about it, we run into hostilities in our lives on a somewhat regular basis, right? Maybe it's a run-in with somebody at the grocery store who doesn't like that. Maybe you cut in front of them or something like that. Or maybe, maybe it's a friend who is feeling short-tempered one day because they haven't gotten enough sleep because they're not signed up for this healing. And so they, maybe they say something abrupt to you because of it. So it doesn't have to be anything like you're going to be attacked by, Harlequin romance cover model with a sword. It's not necessarily that. It could just be that there might be somebody who is a little bit hostile to you, okay? Doesn't have to be like this. But let's look at what this other one is. Prince Dastan. Does he look like that? Okay, so we get this card inverted. So it's the Happy Family card inverted. Hello, person. Are you a man? And it came up inverted, so that changes the meaning a little bit. So this card, when it comes inverted like that, means that there's likely going to be some kind of disruption in the family. So, these two cards together, hostilities and happy family, suggest that there's going to be something with a family member, perhaps in the coming week, perhaps tomorrow. Oh no, yeah, but you know what happens? Like, I can think of this year, it happening in my family, like, I'm talking, extended family too, sisters and brother-in-laws, parents. Many times when I think of my daughter, my goodness, it happens every day. So that's it, it's just having the awareness that something like that might happen, if you keep it in your awareness, can really help in the moment that something does occur. So if a family member does suddenly bite your head off for something that they really shouldn't be biting your head off for, then you're going to say, okay, I was kind of expecting something like this to happen, and I think knowing that and having that realization in the moment helps us to respond in a way that comes more from a place of love as opposed to a reactionary reaction. So, if someone bites your head off, instead of like being hurt, maybe, being really hurt, or maybe getting on the defensive and biting their head off back, you can say, okay, wait a second, there's something going on here, right? There's some energy at play causing this to happen, and it helps to open up our compassion a little bit more, to realize, there's influences happening to people, things, underlying things that we don't necessarily know about. And if you can have a little compassion in the moment when something like this happens, then it's easier to shift that person from that place, and you will likely be less affected You'll take it less personally. So, I'm not looking forward to that either, but that's life, right? We have ups and downs, and we have in any type of relationship, there's always some kind of problem that arises, or some situation that needs some kind of resolution. So that might happen in the coming week for all of us signed up for the free distant energy healing I do. Thanks, Midori. And maybe you even want to say a little prayer before you go to bed tonight, or if it's in the morning, you can say it in the morning also. You don't have to say your prayers for night. Save them for night. And just maybe you want to pray that you have the strength to not react, to take a pause if something like this happens, and to reflect on what it means to be compassionate towards that person in that moment. There's something they're going through that causes them to be that way. So praying for the strength to not react and to come from a place of love, I think might be a nice thing to do. So I am wishing you all a very happy Healing Wednesday, and